So this will be an interesting video. I don't exactly know how edited this is going to be, but essentially this is a video that I was meant to make a couple of months ago, but then again, the consensus with this channel is I'm never on time. Now essentially this is probably just going to be saying, oh, he's doing the personal video again. It's like, yeah. So I did say we'll see you next year, and here we are. So yeah, obviously university in the big third year of it, which has been pretty much like an excuse from like last year of like why content's been a bit lackluster in terms of, and a bit sporadic, I guess. Which is, I mean, I guess because I've had to do more, and the thing is I've had to do actually more courses like than the recommended for this year, so I can graduate on time in terms of the full time one, because it's a bit weird the course that I'm doing, but currently as it stands, all of the work's done. So as it stands, I'm technically no longer a full-time university student. And hopefully in December, and I'm knocking as much wood as humanly possible, I'll graduate. In the middle of December, and it's like, damn, I really could get a nice frame of my $40,000 piece of paper. But still, did see a big thing about how Labor's talking about cutting down the HECS debt if they get re-elected, which it's a nice thing, but why things are going, I don't think they're going to get re-elected, but obviously that's a completely separate matter. But yeah, you've got that, and there have been other things, like personal things, but I guess I'm going to try to be as vague as possible. I guess it's like a read between the lines kind of thing, if for all of you internet detectives out there. But basically, if you've read Fyodor Dostoevsky's White Nights, that essentially, it's a big bite of 1880s Russian literature. So I mean, you've got to have it for a rugby league content creation. I mean, like the Venn diagram's a circle for it. So yeah, basically it's coming to grips with that. Also, mental health, eh? It's really interesting, especially in like the last couple of like months and that, in terms of like how it just, because it's just a cycle really, and it just keeps eating up at you. Well, that's from my personal experience. Like I do understand, obviously, like everybody goes through, like I'm no special case in terms of those issues, but I think I guess especially when it comes to making content that it's weird, because obviously we have this stereotype about like, how like people go off on like say Twitch streamers because they say, oh, they're tired, and it's like, but they're not actually working a real job. But I get what they mean, because it's a different kind of, it's like, it makes sense when you think about it, but when you actually speak it out, it does sound odd. So there's that. I guess as well, and it's just like with the other stuff coming in mind, I just really could not be bothered with like rugby league and stuff like, and making content, because it's just like, yes, a little bit of it being in a creative hole, but I just had no motivation to do it through that period. Because I mean, it's still something I'm dealing with like right now, but it wasn't as bad as it was back when it initially happened. But yeah, to the point where it's like straight up, I did not watch the NRL Grand Final. I did not watch Penrith Melbourne. Genuinely, I could not have cared less. And obviously it's like, you're still going to be like on with it and stuff like that. And it's just, yeah, you just got to be in there, and it's just, I just wasn't. It's been like that for the last 2 years. I think genuinely like 2022, 2021 were like the actual good years of the channel doing content creation. I was, doing stuff with other creators, and yeah, it was fun. I guess I kind of just lost that drive, and hopefully with the distraction of university out of the way, that I can actually have a creative spark to do stuff and that. Like even as well, because there've also been like ideas and like content that I've like wanted to do, but I just ended up just never ending up to do it. Like for example, right, I think it was a couple of months ago, I did do a Sydney Rugby League doubleheader where I went to watch the Tigers play the Titans and I watched the Eels play the Roosters. That was meant to be a vlog, and I have the footage on my Google Drive, and just never got around to doing it. I think also as well is because I put a lapel mic, because I know my iPhone's audio thing's a bit bad, but putting a lapel mic just makes the audio a lot worse. So there's that. But I definitely want to do more vlogging. Like, it's something I really would like to do. Maybe to wait before and get like an actual like decent camera, which could be a factor. So that could be something along those lines. And there's also like ideas of things I want to do. Like, for example, for the last couple of years, I've wanted to do a video basically, and it's for a couple of things. Essentially, it's like putting an asterisk on certain things. Like, I think it's a thing in like in American sports where it's like, oh, put an asterisk on every Super Bowl, and basically say like, oh, why the other team won it, but I've explained it horribly, but it's like trying to see of like, why they didn't deserve the win and whatever. And I wanted to do that with like the NRL, and I wanted to do it with State of Origin. Just never had the motivation to do it. And that, it is a bastard. It is a very hard thing to get out of. But I'm kind of lucky that I've got, I guess, a group of people in my own personal life that are willing to deal with my bullshit. And I know that there are people that don't have that luxury, and it is unfortunate. And I think it's, even for me, it's still not 100% like that great, but it's like something I want to do, because I do want to go back to seeing like therapy and that, it's like that sort of thing. Also, in terms of a interesting talking point, and this is one I need to word really carefully, because I don't want to out myself here. But basically, so pretty much, I'm going to try to word this as best as possible. You can interpret, you can put all your theories down in the comments below. Let's try to figure it out. In terms of like some characteristics about my life and my personality and whatnot, I think it's kind of worried me a little bit of the fact of some people's within the rugby league content creator sphere, there's like opinion on, which might not exactly make me, I guess, feel welcome. Now, I'm not trying to accuse anyone specifically. This is purely just based off vibes. I could be very wrong. I guess it's basically how people have their preferences to things. It's like, I just don't exactly feel welcome, and just feel like I can't, well, obviously can't tell anyone, because I also think it's, you got to keep, in terms of, especially we're dealing with content creators, you got to deal with like with a pinch of salt type stuff, because I'm not trying to accuse anyone of anything, but I have seen this happen in like other content spheres of like drama and stuff like that. So I'm not saying any particular incident, but obviously some people do turn on each other and air out dirty laundry. I'm not saying anyone does in the rugby league community. I'm not saying that at all. But yeah, it's something that's been interesting. It's been a thing kind of tossing about my mind for the last couple of years type personal stuff. But again, like to see your predictions in the comments of what does he mean by that, and you can do it all on the social medias and stuff like that. It'll be an interesting game, it'd be really fun. Won't backfire. Anyways, yeah, and it's just, I feel like those have kind of just been like my biggest issues, the top three: white knights, characteristics, and the mental health. But hopefully, with university now being done, we are moving onwards and upwards. I'm not saying 2025 is going to be my year, because I think I said 2024 is a year at the end of my 2023 video. And oh boy, that didn't happen. It's it's things happening. On a personal note, in a bit less than 2 weeks, I'm heading overseas, going to Japan of all places. Basically, it's like an end of uni type blowout thing. So it's like, okay, studying for like 3-4 years, relax. And it's also like first holiday that I've been on since, it's the first one I can drink. And it's the first one away from, without my family members. and it's also the first. Yeah, it's the first actual proper holiday, like first going overseas in like 6 years. So yeah, it should be really good. Could turn some of the content into vlogs. Maybe, I guess, if people are interested. One thing I am interested in doing is, because we are going to the Empress Cup final, which is basically the Japanese FA Cup equivalent. This will Kobe and Genbro Osaka at the National Football Stadium, so that should be really cool. So yeah, I guess hopefully the drive got to come from somewhere. But yeah, it's I want to thank everybody for I guess sticking around with the channel and all that. It's yeah, it's really interesting, and I want to repay your, like, I guess, dedication in terms of still sticking with the channel with actual good content for once. It's like, well, you haven't been doing that for 13 years. It's just like that type of stuff. But yeah, so yeah,